bed, breaking things for enjoyment. Wondering where your favorite toy went. Waited 2 years for a song from your boyfriend, but I wasn't your boyfriend. Cry, cry, baby, it's the saddest you'll get from me. If I water down with tears as a threat, so let it out, let it fall, and you won't catch me picking up at 2 a.m. when you call. So cry, cry, baby, for someone who might care it all. I don't really want to give you something that you think you deserve, but I'll give you credit where the credit is due. Cause there's a whole lot of words that rhyme with narcissist and synonyms for what you did to me. You're a dime a dozen, so don't try to act like it was when it wasn't. Cry, cry, baby, it's the saddest you'll get from me. If I water down with tears as a threat, so let it out, let it fall, but you won't catch me picking up at 2 a.m. when you call. So cry, cry, baby, for someone who might care it all.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 당신에게
조율적인 작별.
Tell me how that's going for you tonight. Cry, baby, cry. You're drowning.
폭주족 부르기. 레이어.
당신에게
조율적인 작별. 레이어. 폭주족 부르기.
당신에게
조율적인 작별. 레이어. 조율. 조율. 레이어. 폭주족 부르기.
당신에게
조율적인 작별. 레이어. 레이어.
당신에게
조율적인 작별. 폭주족 부르기. 레이어.
당신에게
조율적인 작별. 조율. 조율.
단계 전환.
We don't fight the way we used to. When every night was like a war. After everything we've been through, thought you care a little more. I wish you would call me an asshole. Say things you don't mean, act like your heart broke. Call me a piece of shit, that means a piece of you still isn't over it. Baby, I need you to feel something or nothing at all. Get pissed off and see what you got. Blame me, say that you hate me, whatever you want, babe. Feeling the blame me, feeling the blame me. Feeling the blame me, feeling the blame me. Blame me, say that you hate me, whatever you want, babe. Feeling the blame me, feeling the blame me. Do me right, do me wrong, so fuck it, I'ma love me better. You say I'm the one who's testing your patience.
War.
You just want somebody to blame. Alright, why we always argue the same shit? No way, I don't think that you'll ever change. Oh, it's easy to stay, it's harder to go. When you make me feel like this, I try to leave it alone.
War.
Do me right, do me wrong. We break up, then get back together. Give me high, leave me low. It's over, then you say forever. Also in my head is the games you play. Like you ain't tryna talk, but you have my pace. Do me right, do me wrong. So fuck it, I'ma love me better. Fuck it, I'ma love me better. Fuck it, I'ma love me better. I'll do the things that you never did for me. I'll care the way that I wish that you would. Oh God, I know that I would rather be lonely than hold on just because you think that we should. We should, we should, we should. Oh, it's easy to stay, but harder to go. When you make me feel like this, I try to leave it alone. Don't know why I don't, cause you always do me right, do me wrong. We break up, then get back together. Get me high, leave me low. It's over, then you say forever. Also in my head is the games you play. Like you ain't tryna talk, but you at my place. Do me right, do me wrong. So fuck it, I'ma love me better. Fuck it, I'ma love me better. Fuck it, I'ma love me better. Love me, fuck it, I'ma love me better. Love me, fuck it, I'ma love me better.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
고철 폭탄. 장렬연소 호요포. 고철 폭탄. 장렬연소 호요포. 거대한 벽돌. 거대한 벽돌. 천동복 난사. 천동복 난사. 거대한 벽돌. 거대한 벽돌. 고철 폭탄. 장렬연소 포효포. 학살의 왕.
관중들 환호성이 저 밖에서도 들리다. 인기 좀 얻었다. 자만하지 마.
We used to play house way out in Brooklyn. And in the middle of July, we had a vibe. Now I'm looking at this picture on my pillow, and I don't know. Sun goes down, we'll meet up by the bonfire, baby. The moon's gonna be crazy, 'cause I think I'm in love with you. Gather all of your friends, bring a bottle of gin, make the neighbors go mad, just doing what we do. We'll be dancing to songs from the old days, swing from the trees, bend all the rules, 'cause we just love how it feels by the bonfire, baby. Crazy, 'cause I think I'm in love with you. I wish that I had stayed inside and I got that coffee at 8:05. 'Cause if I did, then I wouldn't have seen you. There was someone that I've never known, and looking annoyingly beautiful. Don't wanna care, but I still do. 'Cause you were my first, you were my last, you were my future, but now you're my past. And I just can't let go. I don't wanna see you two laughing at a party, doing things that we used to do, while I'm here with somebody doing nothing. Oh, wishing that she was you. It's not that I'm hoping you're not happy, baby, I do, but I'm not ready to see you at parties with somebody new, when I'm still getting over you.
I'm staring at a photograph, and thought if I said I don't want you back. Now you and I've become nothing but strangers. I'm with someone, 'cause I don't want to show you it hurts me like hell you're gone. Don't wanna care, but I still do. 'Cause you were my first, you were my last, you were my future.
Roll the Bones becomes almost like a damage primer rather than a buff ability, and we only stop using it when we get 5 buffs, which is a lot stronger than using a Roll the Bones to amplify our finishers. Keep It Rolling is another one. Basically, when you use it, when we have 4+ buffs active from Roll the Bones, or from any other passives, such as Count the Odds, where Amber, Sinister Strike, and Dispatch all have a chance to grant you a random draw of Roll the Bones that you don't already have for 8 seconds. That allows you to lock in those buffs for at least 30 extra additional seconds in order to keep them up for as long as possible. The only time, when you have Keep It Rolling and you have 5 buffs available, or 4 buffs or whatever, you can actually use Roll the Bones once without breaking that lock-in buff combo, as Roll the Bones will either extend one of those buffs, or will add you an additional buff as part of that combination. So it's something you can realize, but afterwards you probably don't want to Roll the Bones because you want to lock in those buffs and hold them for as long as possible. Adrenaline Rush as an ability is a 3-minute cooldown, but it essentially has a much shorter CD because of the cooldown reduction aspect of Outward. It's not as major of a combat ability as Death Mark for Assassination or Shadow Blades for Subtlety. It is an ability you kind of just want to use on cooldown. It doesn't have as big of an impact, but you greatly
베어리츠는
capabilities, and it's something a buff kind of want to maintain as long as possible throughout any encounter.
유명
When you
현상.
use Adrenaline Rush on cooldown at all times, don't hold it back.
음향 개편.
Unless it's you're in a mythical dungeon and use it like 10-15 seconds, and then it's going to save Adrenaline Rush for a fresh attack afterwards. Vanish would normally be used together with Between the Eyes instead of a Crack Shot window, which enables us to spam Between the Eyes as our primary finisher. And Vanish is a very, very specific use for it. We want to use Vanish and spam Between the Eyes only whenever Adrenaline Rush is active, plus an additional conditional is also present. Either Adrenaline Rush is active and it's about 3 seconds from expiring, and we Vanish in order to prolong the duration of our Adrenaline Rush. Or we Vanish if Vanish is about 15 seconds before it hits the second charge, and we want to avoid over-capping on Vanish charges. Or if the buff of Ruthless Precision is active, which greatly improves the crit consistency of Between the Eyes, allowing us to spam it a lot more aggressively. Or if you have use Roll the Bones recently, we have a Supercharger active, which will want to spam it on Between the Eyes to get additional damage and additional value in the combo point cooldown reduction elements. Outside of that, we are a combo point builder spender spec, so we want to make sure we're building combo points and spending them as efficiently as possible. First things first, our finishers are broken down very simply. Whenever you have 6 combo points or above,
메아리 치는 참가.
we're going to start consuming 6 combo points into finishers, but in stealth it's at 5 plus combo points while subterfuge is active. For the most part, Between the Eyes would be used either inside of subterfuge windows or from stealth, or you'll spam it aggressively if you have Ruthless Precision or Supercharger active.
운명의 메아리.
Some outlaws actually don't even have Between the Eyes on the bars unless you're inside of stealth, and you kind of want to make sure you're using Between the Eyes usually in stealth and not as often outside of stealth. Technically, Between the Eyes still gives us a buff that increases our critical strike chance, as it does you need to refresh it outside of stealth, but even if you just want to make this ability a stealth only ability, it's a very, 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 very small damage loss.
메아리 치는 참가.
Rotation, as it basically forces our dispatch. Outside of stealth though, outside of conditions for Between the Eyes, we'll primarily be spending our combo points on dispatch as our basic filler finisher. We don't need to spend combo points on Assassin's because
단계 전환
which allow you to get through dispatches or through crack shot windows of Between the Eyes procs. As for our combo point builders, even plus, if you're playing with the sound of Death Maneuver,
유란스러운 투하.
you start using it pretty aggressively when you're fighting 5 or more targets, as basically using Blink Filler against 5 targets gives you full max combo points, which you can then invest back into the finisher, which is
유란스러운
투하. Outside of that, the spec does not have a AoE rotational playstyle when it comes to combo point builders. It's a single target spec that just releases, so if you're
유란스러운
going
투하.
to target against a higher health, something that would be fun for a while, you use shots with opportunity procs and only with opportunity procs, but usually only when we have less than 4 combo points available. Otherwise, you'll risk
단계 전환.
combo points. Besides that, Sinner Strike will be our primary combo point.
이명현상.
People will never use Amber's it's not even worth binding anyone bars, even in stealth. We'll just open up with a Sinner Strike or a pistol
증폭.
shot. The better get Sinner Strike, Ghost Strike mixed together. However, Outlook does have some rotational changes, like with the tongue or broadside. Because of fan to handle, we can actually stack
이명현상.
multiple times, and whenever we use a pistol shot, we fire off additional shots, which generates a lot of combo points. Together with broadside, which causes us to generate an extra combo point anytime we generate a combo
메아리
point.
치는
And
참가.
remember, with stacks of opportunity can generate the max combo point in a single global. And because of the way the ability works, it can just easily allow us to overfill our combo points.
음양 대표.
5월 종수세 신고로 몰이하고 직장, 엔잡도, 사장님, 알바생 여러분 무언자가 빨리 드세요. 빠르고 안전하게 모시겠습니다.
벼랑투성이 감정.
저 청소 되게 좋아요.
증폭.
그러니까 내가 좋아하는 이것만 3층만 되지가 않아. 3층만 되지가 않아. 진짜가 이제 말하고 이제 말할 거야.
음양 대표.
뭐야 여기 어떻게 된 거야? 텐션 높아진 거 봐.
메아리 치는 참가. 증폭. 이명현상. 메아리 치는 참가. 운명의 메아리. 단계 전환.
4, 3, 2,
운명의 메아리. 요란스러운 투하.
4, 3, 2, 1,
운명의 메아리. 요란스러운 투하.
4, 3, 2, 1,
요란스러운 투하.
4, 3, 2, 1.
단계 전환. 증폭.
저놈의 총생이 입 다무는 것도 모르나.
Mess myself up. sick with sad people. When all the happy ones go out to play, we stay inside, yeah, we're invisible. We still play hide and seek with sad people. Cry in the dark, no one knows who we are anyway. Yeah, we love to pretend that we're good at the end of the day. Should've been the best that I never had. Gave you all I got, I can get it back. Should've been the first that I should've been the best that you never had. You were my favorite regret.
War.
헬리우스가 너희를 처리 못했다고. 내가 왕년일 땐 어떻게 했는지 가르쳐줘라.
Gave you all I got, I can get it back. Might have been the first, but I'm not your last. Should have been the best that you never had. You were my favorite regret. My favorite regret. You were my favorite regret. You were my favorite. You were my favorite. You were my favorite regret. I fell in love with my best friend. She's all that I've ever dreamed about. So how do I tell her this then, without breaking it all apart? And I don't know which words are better, or if I should even tell her I fell in love with my best friend, and that's all she needs to know. So hard, and I can't get this off my chest. 3 words, why the hell can I pick them next? I wait, afraid I'ma make a mess of this. So I count the times that I've tried to speak to her. The reason that I can't sleep, would all my sorrow and my worries be gone? She knows what she's talking about, my where and what's and roundabout. So why can't I even say, hey, I fell in love with my best friend. She's all that I've ever dreamed about. So how do I tell her this then, without breaking it all apart? And I don't know which words are better, or if I should even tell her I fell in love with my best friend. And that's all she needs to know. Safe to say that I know them well. Her mom, her dad, I know all her friends. And when no one can read her face, I can. She knows everything about me, my deepest insecurities, but still I can't even say.
그러면 친구에게는 크게 줄게요. 같이 같은 거냐.
She's all that I've ever dreamed about. So how do I tell you this time without breaking it all?
3, 2, 1.
Words are better.
소각자, 소각, 전자기력 분류, 부르는 자녀,
3, 2, 1.
소각자, 부르는 자녀, 소각자, 소각, 전자기력 분류, 쓰레기 더미, 쓰레기 더미, 소각자, 뜨거운 쓰레기, 과출력, 쓰레기 압축기, 고철 로켓, 소각자, 전자기력 분류, 쓰레기 더미, 소각자, 뜨거운 쓰레기, 침묵된 터널 뜨거운 쓰레기, 소각자, 소각, 전자기력 분류, 쓰레기 더미, 소각자, 소각, 뜨거운 쓰레기, 뜨거운 쓰레기된 화물 폭발, 굴림, 소각자, 소각, 뜨거운 쓰레기, 전자기력 분류, 부르는 자녀,
3, 2, 1.
소각자, 부르는 자녀, 굴림, 부르는 자녀, 뜨거운 쓰레기, 침묵된 터널 폭발. 소각자. 소각. 전자기력 분류. 뜨거운 소각자. 뜨거운 소각. 침묵된 터널 폭발. 소각자. 소각.
절개가 하나 줄었네요. 뒷정리는 투자 개발회사 동료들이 해줄 거예요. 고마워요.
There's truly no place like home. Truly no place like home. I think my mama read it all. Now she feels worried about me. I've stayed inside this soul. Don't work that way deep down. I know she's right. I can't forget that night I went to say goodbye. Go get the last things I left at your house. I held you one last time, but then they caught my eye. Wrapped in a paper I'd not seen before. Who gave you all the roses? Who gave you all the roses? I wish I hadn't noticed. But who gave you all the roses? I haven't left our bubble. I think I'm seeing double. I must be drunk, I swear these walls do talk. That night the rain was pouring, and all those lazy mornings. Am I the only one that wants them back? I'm still too good at thinking about you. Can't help myself. I can't forget that night I went to sleep goodbye. All the last things I left at your house. I held you one last time, but then you caught my eye. Wrapped in a paper I'd not seen before. Gave you all the roses. I wish I hadn't noticed. Who gave you all the roses?
Wharf. Wharf.
find nobody else. No doubt about it, you and I, yeah, we could do it all. Well, at least that's what I thought. I just can't get you out of my head. I'm so sick of always being wrong. Why won't you just kiss me instead? You're the one on my mind. But you call me on your cell phone. Tell me I was friends on. Girl, it sucks to be the friend though. I won't lie, you're the one on my mind. But you call me on your cell phone. Tell me I was friends on.
Wharf. Wharf. Wharf.
Turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Am I really aiming for a couple billy, feeling green today? I hope I don't wanna be alone. Tend my soul, she said love you lost control. When you're wrong, we both know them Trojans holding motives going. Dancing while the world keeps turning, laughing while it keeps on burning. I hope you go broke and your iPhone breaks and your ex shows up at your next first date and your car gets towed so you show up late to your shitty ass job. Hope you have a bad day. Remember when you said that I'd end up doing nada, and when I was young my mama musta drop me on my head, but there ain't a bitch like karma. Guess you two got that in common. And I don't wanna be spiteful, but you someone I got spite for, and I know it ain't right, but all you ever did was do me wrong. So I hope you go broke and your iPhone breaks and your ex shows up at your next first date and your car gets towed so you show up late to your shitty ass job. Hope you have a bad day. Hope you lose your keys and you get locked out, and when things are looking up, hope it all goes south, cause you never gave a fuck when I opened my mouth. I got nothing else to say except have a bad day. You bring out the words to me. If you feeling like shit, then you deserve to be every friend I've ever had, from my roommate to my dad, said they
전산이전.
my life like it was surgery. I don't wanna be spiteful, but
음파
Sonic the
폭파.
Avian.
spiteful, and I know it ain't right, but all you ever did was do me wrong. So I hope you go broke and your iPhone breaks and your ex shows up at your next first date and your car gets towed so you show up late
발명품 활성화. 음파 폭파. 전선 이전.
I have an announcement that I would like to make. There is a gorgeous woman on my bed.
발명품 활성화. 음파 폭파.
I know your reputation. They say you always flaking. You pick some bad guys and tell yourself that you can change them. I keep it kosher even when I'm bringing home the bacon. HOODIEDD, you know that's the name she's saying every single night.
발명품 활성화.
She from the suburbs, but nowadays she fuck with the hood.
발명품 활성화. 전선 이전. 단계 전환. 전선 이전. 공업 폭발. 공업 폭발. 단계 전환. 전선 이전. 음파 폭파. 발명품 활성화. 음파 폭파. 전선 이전. 발명품 활성화. 음파 폭파. 발명품 활성화. 음파 폭파.
If everything is nothing, then let's throw it all away. Cause you just can't take it with you when you're rotting in your grave. So get the tattoo that you know you shouldn't get. Send that text that you know you shouldn't send. Stay up all night, I'll be sleeping when I'm dead. Cause everything is nothing. I'm sick and tired of taking everything seriously. I used to work a 9 to 5 and now I'm high on a beat. I'm finally happy with the person that I'm trying to be. You know what? I don't give a fuck, obviously. I hated all my inhibitions, scared to make my own decisions. Stuck inside this tunnel vision, ending this shit right now. If everything is nothing, then let's throw it all away. Cause you just can't take it with you when you're rotting in your grave. Get a tattoo that you know you shouldn't get. Send that text that you know you shouldn't send. Stay up all night, I'll be sleeping when I'm dead. Cause everything is nothing at all. Everything, even saying I am. I'm drinking every beer I get out of the side of the can. Smoking anything they put in my hand. Any mistake I make, I made it part of the plan. I hated all my inhibitions, scared to make my own decisions. Stuck inside this tunnel vision, ending this shit right now. If everything is nothing, then let's throw it all away. Cause you just can't take it with you when you're rotting in your grave.
So basically, with broadside, you want to try holding fan, the hammer, or rather the pistol shot opportunity, and not use them unless you have all 6 stacks available at once. When you have 6 stacks, then pistol shot becomes a priority of comp point builder if you're under 5 to 6 comp points, depending on whether you stealth or not on stealth. But for the most part, we try to hold those as best as possible because they end up being surprisingly efficient with broadside as a comp point builder, which allows you to pistol shot, follow up into a finisher immediately. As for the rotational changes within Fade Bound and Trickster, there really isn't much for Fade Bound. It's very, very passive to handle Fade. Anytime you spend comp points into a finisher, you flip a coin, either granting you a damage buff or immediate positive damage to the target, which is all fine. But for the most part, with Fade Bound, you don't really need to think about this playstyle in terms of its rotational gameplay. Trickster is about the same. The only thing you need to run is a Killing Spree as a talent in order to proc disoriented strikes. But outside of that, Unseen Blade, and even the playstyle of Coup de Grace, you don't really need to do anything specific with any of this. Only subtleties the only spec that has a little bit of this rotational adjustment, whether you use one finisher or the other. But for Outlaw, as soon as abilities are glowing and are available, basically making a priority, that's all you essentially have to do. Next, let's go over the gearing and the stats for Outlaw Rogue in the Season 2, which hasn't changed too much from Season 1. If you are looking to take your Rogue a little more seriously this time around in this season, though, definitely recommend checking out the Raidbots website, which allows you to better optimize all of your gear and sim your character, which can give you a little bit better results and numbers, and at least an idea in terms of which items in your bags are probably an upgrade, or maybe adjust your playstyle and see what type of numbers you should be seeing more or less when it comes to single target encounters, dungeon encounters, and also compare a bunch of different talent builds if you want to experiment with your rogue. But outside of that, I do want to give you a little bit of direction in terms of how you build your character. First things first, agility in most cases is going to be your best stat. So Fnatic gives you more agility. In most cases, entire item level is going to be an upgrade, no matter the secondary stats to some degree. With haste, because you're playing Keep It Rolling, you want to keep it anywhere between 17 to 20% haste. Usually the higher the better, but at minimum you want to drop to 17. So in most cases, you do want to try to adjust your enchants and gems in order to maintain a decent bit of haste. Outside of that, versatility is going to be your ultimately best stat when it comes to raw damage output. This is your best option for overall value increases, and from there on, you kind of just go with Critical Strike. You don't really need a lot of crit because you get it artificially with Roll the Bones and between the eyes, but if you are looking like you're starting to get DR cap with your versatility, you start 40 points into Critical Strike. Mastery is just not consistent. Technically, it can do okay damage-wise, but the fact that you'll unlock to like 35% chance to trigger it just doesn't end up being a great stat. We usually try to avoid it as best as possible. And some of the best spot items you're going to want to get in Season 2, the Ring of
오염된 배출. 당첨 키워드. 화려한 상품. 오염된 배출. 당첨 3. 오염된 배출. 당첨 키워드. 올맘에는 불길. 화려한 상품. 오염된 배출. 당첨상. 오염된 배출. 당첨 키워드. 올맘에는 불길. 화려한 상품. 단계 전환. 오염된 배출. 단계 전환. 오염된 배출. 당첨선. 오염된 배출. 당첨선.
You won't be round to see you now. Cover my mouth with your hands, try to silence me. I'll scream out as loud as I can. Shouldn't bite the hand that feeds me. But you're not the man at blood. I still get to you and see you. Cover my mouth with your hands, try to silence me. I'll scream out as loud as I can. Shouldn't bite the hand that feeds me. But you're not the man at blood. I still get to you and see you.
Motherfucking outcast, goddamn, that one. Keep your head down, put your hoodie up. Never pay attention to the ones that never gave a fuck. Step 2, your favorite color's black. You ain't got nothing to lose, you're a fucking outcast. Step 3, don't let them see your strength in your belief. People hold of all your dreams and never show us underneath. Step 4, love you when the rain comes pouring down, 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 down. Up all night inside my mind, I haven't slept for days. This is my routine, this shit to stay. This is how to be and how to stay. I don't care enough to get in, 'cause I'm not like the rest. This is how to be and how to stay. I don't have too many friends, but hey, I'm trying my best.
Step 5, always tell yourself you're fine. You don't need nobody else, yeah, you'll be alright. Step 6, every time you feel like shit, cry about it, get it over with, 'cause life's too quick. Step 7, you can find heaven with your head in the clouds. 8, you can walk away if it brings you down, 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 down. Up all night inside my mind, I haven't slept for days. This is my routine, is it to stay? This is how to be an outcast. I don't care enough to fit in, 'cause I'm not like the rest. This is how to be an outcast. I don't have too many friends, but hey, I'm trying my best. This is how to be an outcast.
오, 4, 3, 2, 1.
단계 전환. 결함 있는 전선 대열.
Faulty wiring.
마크2 전기 충격기 죽음. 자결하는 순간 파편. 자결하는 순간 파편. 자결하는 순간 파편. 고블린 유도 로켓. 자결하는 순간 파편. 마크2 전기 충격기 죽음.
War.
마구잡이.
War.
단계 전환. 대지진 감옥.
War.
종이 표하기. 감옥 탈출. 녹아내린 황금 너클. 냉기분실 장갑. 소품 경로 손가락총. 단계 전환. 결함 있는 전선 배열. 단계 전환. 마크2 전기 충격기 죽음. 자결하는 성탄 파편. 결함 있는 전선 대역. 자결하는 성탄 단계 전환. 자결하는 성탄 파편. 마크2 전기 충격기 죽음. 전화 충전. 전화 충전. 단계 전환. 피해 욕망. 결함 있는 전선 배열. 자결하는 성탄 파편. 마크2 전기 충격기 죽음. 냉기 분쇄 장화. 자결하는 성탄 파편. 대지진 감옥. 고블린 유기 피하기. 감옥 탈출. 마크2 전기 충격기 죽음. 녹아내린 황금 너클. 소풍 경로 손가락총.
Cigarettes on standby. I don't got a lighter, but she's burning for those tan lines. Keep me out of question, it's not something you could figure out. I don't need discussion, you consider it a pastime. And all mine are stupid, don't know what to do with you. Calling me crazy, I live in delusion. I'm over the limits, you stuck on the fences. You start to regret this, you start to regret. Tongue-tied and twisted, fucked up, so you missed the message. Play twice the victim, place blame on a misdirection. Can't seem to find it, missed out, I forget the question. Like tongue-tied and twisted, fucked up, so you missed the message. Play twice the victim, place blame on a misdirection. Can't seem to find it, missed out, I forget the question. Like look, I don't wanna fight you. You gotta know that I meant it when I said that I liked you. Or maybe just the idea. I bought it, the one, and I returned the shit like IKEA. Apologize, I'm not a mind reader. I need attention, so I try to be a crowd pleaser. It was easy till it got a little deeper. Now I don't know how to deal with you, so I'ma disappear. I'm a ghost. Now you see me, now you don't. I'm a ghost. Every time you hit the phone. I'm a ghost. Now you see me, now you don't. Hey, I know it's inconvenient to change your background, but let's back down so you can see this is a problem I don't want to put myself in front of. That's why I blocked you, cause I'm not the guy you should rely on, spy on, creep on. I don't know, you just ain't that type of hoe. If I don't holler, let me go. I should've said it, but I didn't, and I won't. I'm a ghost. Now you see me, now you don't.
Holocaust is going.
I'm a ghost. Every time you hit the phone. I'm a ghost. Now you see me, now you don't.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Scattered blast canisters. 열기
Venting
방출.
heat. Big bad
폭탄
bunch of
대잔치.
bombs.
산탄장면
Scattered blast
인
canisters.
예복
Engineers
기술자의 용기.
canisters. Suppression.
열기
Venting
방출.
heat. Scattered
산탄장면
blast
인
canisters. Big bad
폭탄
bunch of
대잔치.
bombs. Scattered
산탄장면
blast
인
canisters.
예복
Engineers
기술자의 용기.
canisters.
열기
Venting
방출.
heat. Suppression. Scattered
산탄장면
blast
인
canisters. Big
또
bad
폭탄
bunch of
대잔치.
bombs.
열기
Venting
방출.
heat. Scattered
산탄장면
blast
인
canisters.
예복
Engineers
기술자의 용기.
canisters. Suppression.
단계 전환.
Cheap foil.
초강력 정렬. 초강력 정렬. 초강력
foil.
현대
Charging
초강력
bomb.
주입된 유닛.
Canisters.
예복
Engineers
기술자의 용기.
canisters.
열기
Venting
방출.
heat. Suppression.
초강력
Cheap
방출.
Big bad
폭탄
bunch of
대잔치.
bombs.
단계 전환. 주입된 유닛.
Canisters.
대대한
Armageddon
예복
class
기술자의 용기.
canisters.
총체적인 파괴. 대대한
Armageddon class plate.
단계 전환.
Desert
최선
batter
수납
bomb
폭탄
blast.
열기
Venting
방출.
heat.
폭탄
TikTok
용기.
canisters. Suppression. Mech
예복
engineers
기술자의 용기.
canisters.
최선
Desert batter
수납
bomb
폭탄
blast.
용기. 초강력 초강력 foils. 초강력 장렬. 초강력 장렬. 초강력 장렬. 초강력 foils. TikTok canisters. 연기 heat. Mechanisms canisters.
Fucking tell. In my mama's crib, kinda feeling like a
Feather batter bomb blast.
allowance in the fountain, empty out my bank account, but with my luck, it probably wouldn't need the help. Dog, I got no job, no mic, with a girl I don't like, nothing ever goes right. I'm
TikTok canisters. 연기 heat. Mechanisms canisters. 초강력 foils. 초강력 장렬. 초강력 장렬. 초강력 장렬. 초강력 foils. Suppression. Feather batter bomb blast. TikTok canisters. 연기 heat. Mechanisms canisters. Feather batter bomb blast. Suppression. 초강력 foils. 초강력 장렬. 초강력 장렬. 초강력 장렬. 초강력 foils. TikTok canisters. Mechanisms canisters. Feather batter bomb blast. 초강력 heat.
Too old to die young, but I'm too young to be feeling like this. My body's giving up on me tonight. But when my face is numb, that's when my star is burning brightest. One more time now, bring me back to life. Please don't judge me, that would crush me. I know what I am. Monday, I blacked out till Tuesday. She went south but Wednesday I was flying high. Okay, Thursday, you flushed it all, but baby, gotta let me do this my way, my way. And rush me. I know what I am. Monday, I blacked out till Tuesday. Shit went south, but Wednesday I was flying high. Yeah. Okay, Thursday, you flush it all, but baby, gotta let me do this my way, my way. And no one quits on Friday. No one quits on Friday. Yeah. And no one quits on Friday. No one quits on Friday.
I was going up the coast in a minivan that broke. Like my voice when I told you I was leaving. Pack my bag up, sick of home. Never homesick down the road. In my room by the moon with no ceiling. I was driving in a van that was older than 9+5, hitting Kanye West off the tip of Argentina. Better than drowning engine, ain't got no sin to blame instead of my reflection. So I dreamt I backed it all like Anderson to end up where it all began. I was going up the coast in a minivan that broke. Like my voice when I told you I was leaving. Pack my bag up, sick of home. Never homesick down the road. In my room by the moon with no ceiling. Don't wanna live in Brooklyn, but a view from my apartment. No more homies on the block, like on the corner like a stoplight. Hey, I'm a ghost they never notice. Hey, never should've put a show biz. Took it back at the beginning when I knew when I was singing. Yeah, I was going up the coast in a minivan that broke. Like my voice when I told you I was leaving. Pack my bag up, sick of home. Never homesick down the road. In my room by the moon with no ceiling.
What up, my name is Dal. This is a content of the war with the. How long is this going? Or live. So instead of going with 8 targets getting cleaved as your outrook, which really I hope they increase the target cap on this spec at some point. Maybe give us like a 5 target soft cap or something. Anyway, as we just cleave multiple targets, we go from like cleaving 7 targets plus our primary, then it's down to 6, and it's down to 5. So you actually see less numbers appear over enemy's heads because Blade Flare for some reason keeps targeting dead targets. This means and dead targets don't take any damage, so we're just losing out so much damage in every single pull. This by itself is a pretty big culprit of you doing less AoE damage overall, because as you, let's say, pull a pack of 20, you can only hit 8 of them, but if anything dies and your Blade Flare decides, I'm just going to target that dead mob, now you're hitting 7 mobs, 6 mobs, 3 mobs. You're already hard capped, and this bug would just make you even more hard capped than ever before. It was super frustrating, like playing out your rotation, but just not being able to meet the same numbers that everybody else is doing, even as you get less and less enemies that you get to hit. And this bug is actually kind of like a double dip feature. This also killed precise cuts as well, because Blade Flare keeps targeting targets that are dead. Precise cuts basically target for 100% of the damage, and the second target, I'm pretty sure if my math is right, as Trickster, you would also hit for 100%. So you can hit 2 targets like the same amount of damage. Sweep and strikes his arms warrior, but permanent basically. So you were losing out on that as well. As enemies fell down in a pull, your precise cuts would just never activate. So normal. Normally, Outlook does more damage the less enemies you're fighting, but you just weren't getting it. So those two in particular, those bugs that affected the Blade Flare ability altogether, just heavily impacted your performance in dungeons. And it's really difficult also to quantify just how bad of a nerf this was, like with the bug being in, but it's the game for this is going to be quite general.